Good evening, all. Thank you very, very much for joining us for yet another episode of the Geelong Region Soccer Show podcast. My name is Tonchi Prusak, and is always the case every Monday night at 8 p.m. I'm your host for tonight's show. And speaking of tonight's show, it is Female Football Week. Football Victoria have designated this week Female Football Week, and as part of Female Football Week, we're going to be speaking to our very special guest tonight. We'll be speaking to the longest female president of a local football club, and it could be argued she's probably the longest serving president, full stop. Rose Puratina from the Bell Park Sports Club will be joining us a little bit later on to talk about all things female football, the state of the game and the state of the female game here in Geelong. And of course, we'll be speaking a lot about Bell Park Sports Club. Now, Bell Park are one of the biggest sponsors, the biggest supporters of our show, and have been for the last few years. And along with Surf Coast Football Club, Golden Plains Soccer Club, Geelong Galaxy United, and also North Geelong Warriors as well. They are a big sponsors, supporters of our show. And that's it. That's pretty much it. Where are the rest of the clubs? Without our sponsors, without our business advertising sponsors, would be absolutely nowhere. And tonight's business advertising sponsors: Curva Coaching Geelong, Access Geelong Hire, Harcourts North Geelong, and Australian Sports Line Marking, which is North Geelong Warriors business arm. To all of those organisations and to all of those people, a sincere thank you so much. As we said, on tonight's show, we'll be speaking with Rose Puratina. She's our special guest for tonight. And we've also got a heap of football from the weekend's action to catch up on as well. Can't believe that we're fast approaching the halfway mark of the season. Cannot believe it. And tonight is episode 186, which is our 10th episode for the year. As I said, we're fast approaching the halfway point of the season. Speaking of which, we're hoping to get to 25 episodes this year. We've got about 16 episodes confirmed, funded at the moment. So we are looking for business advertising sponsors. We are also looking for a major sponsor for the rest of the year. If your club, if your business is interested in sponsoring or helping out, then please, we want to hear from you. And also, if you're an individual and you think, how can I support the show? Well, you can become a member for just $5 a month, which is the cost of a coffee. These days, it's a small coffee. www.patreon.com/Geelong Region Soccer Show. It's the cost of one small coffee these days. That's all it is. And your donation goes a long way to helping us see out the season. Folks, we're going to take a very, very short break. When we return, it is going to be time for the news desk. As I said, lots happening in today's show over the weekend, so we'll be getting into that straight away.
The world is yours. So work hard, and you can have whatever it is you want.
And before we go any further, a very, very happy Mother's Day to all of the soccer mums out there. Hopefully yesterday was a great day for you and you did what you enjoy doing the most, watching your kids, your husbands, your boyfriends, whoever playing football. And I'm sure you would have had a great day. It was a perfect day. It was a fantastic day. And let's get straight into the action from the weekend just gone by. Starting at the top, the men's Victorian Premier League Division 1 competition. It wasn't a very good Mother's Day for North Geelong Warriors. They lost 3-2 to Western United. Javaro Nepomuceno scoring in the 3rd minute. Angus Chapman scoring in the 58th minute, which is his 6th goal of the season. But unfortunately for the Warriors, Western United scored in the 90th minute to break the hearts of the travelling Warriors supporters there at Ironbark. This weekend, on Saturday, the Warriors are at home to Langwarrin. I think that should be 13th place Langwarrin. So 7th place North Geelong taking on Langwarrin, who are in 13th position. That game kicking off at 5 p.m. at Alco Park. Each week we've got some gremlins in with our graphics, and in the chat section, see if you can see any mistakes. That's going to be the game from here on end. Victorian Premier League women's action saw Geelong Galaxy, by the same scoreline, end up defeating the Bayside Argonauts. And there's a spelling mistake there. Can you see it? Emily Sutcliffe scoring in the 54th minute, Olivia Ortiz in the 66th minute, and an own goal in the 76th minute. That was a good result for Geelong Galaxy. They jump up to 4th spot after the conclusion of round 9. Now, next week there are no games, so it's a catch-up round. But the following week, that's when Geelong Galaxy will be at home against bottom side Banyule City, who are in 12th position. That game will be kicking off at 3 p.m. at Bannockburn Recreation Reserve on Sunday, the 24th of May. So Geelong Galaxy are looking really good. They jumped into 4th position. 5 wins, 1 draw, 3 losses. A goal difference of plus 5. Excellent stuff there by Geelong Galaxy. Okay, turning our attention now to the men's State League competitions. Well done, Santino. Lest, you mean lost. Good stuff. Western United are 8th, not 13th. Langwarrin is the 13th team. So well done, Brenton Ray. Good to see that the usual suspects are very, very sharp and on the ball tonight. So men's State League round 6 action saw Geelong defeat Sydenham Park in the Macedonian derby. 3-0. Mathul Koué scored, Michael Hodek scored, and Olavo de Andrade Santos also scored. Now, that's his 5th goal. He's Geelong's leading goal scorer, Santos is, and a great win there by Geelong over their Macedonian sister club to maintain their top spot on the competition standings in State League 1. State League 2 saw yet another Geelong derby, and youngster Kian Arjamand scored the only goal of the game to give Geelong Rangers a 1-0 win over Corio. Surf Coast defeated Brimbank Stallions 2-1. John Pikett scored a goal, as did Sam Bickett. Big shout out to Tom Langman, who sent out late this afternoon some highlights packages of the goals. Unfortunately, they were just a bit too late for us to be able to process them and put them up so that we could show you. But if you do go over to Surf Coast's Facebook page, I'm sure the footage will be on their social media channels. So great win there by Surf Coast, and they jump up into 2nd spot on the competition standings behind FC Strathmore Split. So the Coasters looking very, very good, and if they maintain this kind of form going into the second part of the season, well, it could be a case of 3 promotions in 3 consecutive years. State League 4 action saw Bell Park travel to Laverton FC. Unfortunately, the All Whites came away with a 1-0 loss. Now, if we look over the page, State League 5, Deakin Ducks defeated Thornbury Athletic. And boy, did they inflict a hammering 5-0. Sam White scoring 3 goals, Angus Dempsey and Jeremiah Jacoby. Now, Sam White, that takes his tally to 5 goals for the season, but it's still not enough to dislodge Jeremiah Jacoby, who is the side's leading goal scorer. He's got 6 goals for the season. Now, what that means is the Ducks now are in second position on the State League 5 ladder. At the other end, unfortunately, Lara United copped a shellacking up in Bendigo, going down to Bendigo City, 8-0. In State League 6 action, Bowen lost to Moreland Eagles. Finn Murphy um, scored 2 goals. He's actually the leading goal scorer in State League 6 Northwest. He's scored an astounding 8 goals up until now. William Citarelli scored the other goal, but it wasn't enough as the Eagles ran out winners over Barwon. Glenroy Lions lost to Ocean Grove 3-0. David Favetta scoring 2 goals. He's taken his season's tally up to 4 goals. And Patrick Scusa scoring 1 goal as well. The fixtures for this weekend, Saturday, May the 16th, round 8 fixtures. We see Westgate at home to Geelong. So it's 5th versus 1st at Ardea Reserve, 6 p.m. kickoff. Always a tough place to visit, but Geelong looking very good at the moment on top of the State League 1 standings. In State League 2, interestingly, all 3 Geelong teams are away this weekend. Rangers travel to Albion Rovers, second last placed Rovers at Waste Sense Park. What an interesting name for a stadium. That game kicking off at 3 p.m. Cry Soccer Club, who are in last position, well, they've got a chance to turn their season around when they travel to third last place Brimbank Stallions. That game at Club Italia Sporting Complex in Brimbank, kicking off at 3 p.m. Altona North, who are in 7th spot, they entertain Surf Coast. As we said, Surf Coast are in 2nd spot. That game at Dwayne Reserve kicking off at 3 p.m. Bell Park Barnstone Worth United, 5th versus 6th, a must-win game for the All Whites. That game at Bell Park Sports Club at 6 p.m. this Saturday evening. Very, very important game considering they did lose last week against Laverton FC. Over the page, it's 1st versus 2nd in State League 5. The Ducks travel to 2nd place Moonee Valley Knights, and that game at Avondale Heights Reserve at 3 p.m. Big important game that for the Ducks. They need to win this game to open up a little bit of a gap, bit of a breathing space at the top of the State League 5 standings. But the Ducks have been in really good form this year. Lara United, they travel to 8th place Melbourne City. It's going to be a tough assignment for Lara. The game kicking off at 3 p.m. at Edwards Reserve. And last but not least, in State League 6, Ocean Grove hosting topside Hume Bulls at Shell Road Reserve. That game kicking off at 3 p.m. And then Barwon taking on 2nd placed Docklands Athletic at Grovedale Reserve at 5:15 p.m. In women's Victorian State League competition, State League 1 saw North Geelong go down to Mill Park 4-2. Millie Chapman once again getting on the scorer sheet, as did Nagiko Chiba, but it wasn't enough as the Warriors went down to Mill Park, who are, I believe, in 2nd spot on the competition standings. Round 4 fixture coming up this weekend. North Geelong Warriors hosting Caroline Springs George Cross. That game kicking off at 2:45 p.m. A full afternoon of football at Alco Park with the senior men in action later on at 5 p.m. So the ladder after 3 rounds sees Caroline Springs there in 4th position with 6 points, and North Geelong currently in 7th spot. Now, the 3rd round of the local competitions gradings were played on the weekend. So after 3 rounds of the grading phase, in the men's competition, in Pool 1, we've got the Group A division. We've got Barwon and Golden Plains on 9 points, 3 wins from 3 games. In Group B of Pool 1, Surf Coast and Armstrong United have got a 100% record. In Pool 1, Group C, Bell Park are leading the pack with 6 points. In Pool 2, Group D, Barwon's 3rd team is leading that division with 6 points. And in Group E, we've got Golden Plains and Ballerine Sharks, both with 2 wins and 1 loss. And in Group F, we've got a 3-way tie at the moment for the lead. Geelong, Geelong Rangers, and Deakin Ducks. And finally, we'll have a look at the senior women's grading groups of the local Geelong region competition. So after 3 rounds in Pool 1, we've got Group A, Surf Coast on 9 points, Golden Plains on 6. In Group B, we've got Ocean Grove with 9 points, Deakin Ducks with 6. And in Group C, we've got Bell Park, 3 wins from 3 games, and Barwon and Geelong Rangers on 6 points apiece. Those 7 teams will no doubt be the teams that make up this year's Division 1 in the local women's competition. Folks, Super Saturday Soccer. Every Saturday on our Facebook page, we put up a post asking all fans to just update the scores of the region. Last weekend, we didn't have one person, not one person. I'm not too sure if people are not seeing this or people are just too busy with their own little, with their own clubs and what you're not. But look, it's for the benefit of everyone. Yes, I know we've got Dribble these days and everyone can download that app and they can have a look, but not everyone does have it. And it's also a way of keeping the whole football community in a way unified, in a way coming together, because nothing at the moment does that, unfortunately. And the last bit of news, I suppose, is the Football Victoria Geelong just last week actually posted a notice about the 30-30 rule. Do you know what the 30-30 rule is? Well, after a weekend of thunder, lightning and wild conditions, it was a good time to reset on safety, and if extreme weather hits during training or matches, here's what it means. See lightning or hear thunder, stop play immediately. No debate, no waiting, no counting. Don't even wait for the referee. Just invoke the 30-30 rule. Very important for coaches of particularly of junior teams as well. We all do have a duty of care, that's for sure. So that's really important. If you go to the Football Victoria Geelong website, footballgeelong.com, or even if you go to their social media channels, their Facebook page and Instagram, they've always got lots of notices with regards to what is happening in football circles locally. All right, folks, we're going to take a very, very short break. Once again, I do have to really thank all of our business advertising sponsors. And this week, Curva Coaching, Access Geelong Hire, Harcourts North Geelong, and Australian Sports Line Marking as well. Look, we really, really thank every one of those advertisers and sponsors week in, week out. We need your businesses to jump on board so that we can see out the season. We've got about another 6 episodes after tonight funded. We need more. We need some more help. We need some more assistance. If you know someone who runs a business who's doing well in these tough economic times, get them to contact us, communitysportsmedia@gmail.com. That's communitysportsmedia@gmail.com. We'll pop that up a little bit later on. In the meantime, here's some words from one of our advertising sponsors, Harcourts North Geelong. Then after that, we've got a pre-recorded interview with Rose Puratina, the president of the Bell Park Sports Club.
Joe Gergich.
And I'm Helena Fentella.
And welcome to our family here at Harcourts.
Welcome back to the Geelong Region Soccer Show podcast. We're coming to you now from the Bell Park Sports Club. I always love coming here because Bell Park Sports Club is a massive, massive supporter of this show, as too is our next guest. And it is Female Football Week, so what better person to have on the show than Rose Piratina, the president of the Bell Park Sports Club. How are you, Rose? How was Mother's Day, first of all? Congratulations on Mother's Day.
Oh, thank you, Tonchi, and thank you for having me. Mother's Day was wonderful, actually, spending it with the family. Obviously, football continued, and we had to, continue with the football.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Did the kids spoil you, and did you have a football-free day, or was it knee-deep in all the football activities up here?
Does football ever stop?
Good question. And the answer to that is absolutely not. No.
No, but it was wonderful to see all the mothers up here and celebrate their day.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's just about having that balance, isn't it? Even though it was Mother's Day, you've just got to find time for the family and also let football continue.
Yes, absolutely. Now, as we said, it is Female Football Week, and what better person to speak to about football matters during this week than the longest-serving female president of a local football club, I believe. You've been part of the furniture up here at Bell Park for so long. Tell us, when did you first get appointed to the role?
So,
can you remember back that far?
No. Now you're testing me. To be quite honest, Tonchi, I started off at the juniors, and I was then brought onto the board. I think it was in 2010, 2011, but I might have my numbers wrong. But 2015, I started acting, and to 2016. And then 2017, I was officially given the role. So it's been over 10 years.
Wow, long service leave is about to be eligible. Yeah,
yes, please.
What have been some of the achievements? I mean, it's such a long, and illustrious time at the helm of Bell Park. But what have been some of the things that you really, really kind of regard as your highlights?
Well, I've made some notes, so I'm going to refer to them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Look, there's been a lot of highlights, to be quite honest. And one of the biggest has been seeing Bell Park Sports Club grow into a genuine community hub where everyone feels welcome. And we've gone from having limited female facilities from years ago, and you can remember, probably taking you back in history, that it wasn't, we didn't have any change rooms for females. And so the thing that we were really focused on is having some facilities that catered for females, that were changing in the car parks, that were changing in the public toilets, which wasn't appropriate. And we wanted to create, the inclusion of female-friendly change rooms, and we so that was one of the biggest highlights we did here, and that was. And
it was not a one-off thing; it was an ongoing thing, wasn't it? I mean, first of all, you had to make the environment conducive enough for young girls to want to play here, but then you also had to, I guess, create the culture as well. That girls were just as valuable as boys in the junior sense, but then also in the senior sense as well. And I guess that's. I mean, I look from the outside looking in. I think that's an incredible achievement that all the clubs around Geelong have indeed done. But Bell Park, you've done it quite specially, haven't you?
Yeah, we've been focused in changing the culture where we try our best to be inclusive, and we also try our best to make everyone feel welcome, whether you're a player here, a member, a volunteer, parents that come in and out from another club. What we're focused here is how we make you feel when you're at our club, and I think that's really important. Because, Tonchia, I love using this analogy, is if I came to your house and I didn't say hello to you, or you didn't say hello to me, there's not that welcoming feeling, is there? Or you don't want to go back.
Yep.
So the whole thing that I'm all about is, even if you don't know somebody, and smile and say hello. And I think that's worked for us. And but the most, also, just to recircle back to what you were saying, is the upgrading of the lighting as well for us. That was huge. That was huge. And I think that having the Matildas in our World Cup really changed our perspective on female football.
Yeah, yep,
That was a
absolutely.
great achievement, and that I think, yeah, for our region was huge.
Mm. And going back a few years back, yes, the Matildas even came here to play friendly. I think I can remember against China at Cardinia Park, and just the buzz that it gave a lot of the young female footballers, but their parents as well. And we notice as well a lot of footballers, and in particular at this club as well, male footballers who their careers long gone by and this and that, they start to get returned to the clubs because their daughters are playing, or their wives or girlfriends are playing. So you see a lot of that happening as well, and it's all part of that, as you say, that welcoming kind of element or ambience, if you like. Whether it be in the club rooms, whether it be out on the terraces. And by the way, speaking of which, I love coming here. It's actually a fantastic venue, and I've come several times on a Saturday night. Undercover, great seating, great viewing. The comforts are fantastic, and it really will arguably the best facility in Geelong. You must be very proud of what you've created here at Bell Park. Is that one of your crowning achievements, if you like, the facilities?
Absolutely. The upgrades of the facilities, like even as you see our club rooms inside. But Tonchi, it wasn't done just by me.
Yeah.
I had some great support around.
Let's talk about that. We're going to miss obviously a few people and unintentionally, but who are some of your biggest assistants or supporters, if you like, that helped you kind of change things around here?
Well, look, to name everybody, like I'm pretty sure that I would leave someone out and offend, but you have your life members that are here that will support you through. And you can see that this year we've got our life members board, and you can see that we've got I am going to throw in that we've got our core values up, so everyone knows what we stand for. But there were life members that made this work. Like, I've got to shout out to the Biznella development. They were our biggest supporter through this change. They have been our long-standing supporter, consistent. They are reliable for us in the way that they support our community, and that's what they're about. And our alignment is fantastic because we're all about the community.
Absolutely.
So, and Lena and Richard there did an amazing job with the Biznella family in supporting these changes here. I've got to say that there was, I need to mention of like your long-standing members. You had David Seakin, you've got, Frank Matza, you got Murray Riccardi. There's so many, and I don't want to offend anyone. You've got your Tony Romano that's been, and
well, I'm just looking up at the life members boards. There's probably about 50 or so, or names or something like that. If we go through each one, we'll be here till midnight.
Exactly.
But absolutely,
these
are
they're
people,
the key. They are our heartbeat. They are our heartbeat. And the volunteers, I've got this, Ricky that comes up religiously every week, doesn't miss a week. And they're the people that make this club.
Yeah. And all the clubs around Geelong obviously have varying degrees of history, but I look at the sign behind you, 1959. That's when it was created. So what's that? Off the top of my head, 67 years or something like that. It's an incredible history. It's an incredible amount of people that have been involved in the football community. And Bell Park is synonymous with football here in Geelong. Like I said, as are several other clubs as well. But let's talk about now the present. I guess it's Female Football Week. We spoke about that. We mentioned that, and Football Victoria is going, through having all these different events and what you're not in recognition of female football. But you've been heavily involved, not just Bell Park, but you've been involved in committees, subcommittees, Geelong Region Football Committee, task forces, and what you're not over the years. What's your take on the current state of football, female football in Geelong? Is it good? Is it great? Could be better? What's your overall assessment?
Look, in the years that I've been in it, we've had amazing growth, and I think that's important. But with growth, there has to be that sustainability, and that's where I think that we need to focus on. For example, it's getting bigger. We don't have enough fields out there to cater. I had to turn people away this year, which makes me really sad. and as a regional community, we're the biggest region in Victoria.
Yeah.
So, not having enough, and I know that Football Victoria shares the same passion as myself. We want more football fields so that way we can get more players on those fields.
I think we need it, isn't it?
It's simple.
It's simple. We need more football fields, and that's sad to hear. And I hear that from a few clubs this year. They actually have to turn players away, and that really is unfortunate. And I guess now this year we talked about the Women's World Cup, but we had the Asian Women's Cup.
We did.
We've got the Men's World Cup coming up in June. Traditionally, after those events, there's always an influx of new players wanting to play, particularly juniors. And what can we do as a region, apart from obviously new fields, and it is an election year, so this is the perfect time to push for that. What can we do as a region to maybe help sustain that growth or that anticipated growth? Is there anything we can do as clubs?
The one thing that we embrace is, we need to embrace equality, and that's really huge.
Yeah.
Okay, and we need to understand the needs of females and allow them to feel equal.
Yeah,
and
that's
be
really
equal.
important. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that the better we get at it, and if you can talk to me in the 10 years how far we've come, I'm pretty sure there is a different feeling from when I started to where we are now.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that we have, the bigger growth again, and understanding the needs of individuals, especially females, and understanding and allowing that growth to happen, and to make it's important that they feel that they're valued.
Yeah.
And I think that that's where you'll get your sustainability.
Yeah, sustainability and more fields. That's definitely the things we really need to focus on. Well, we're speaking with the president. Our Sports Line Marking is the Geelong region's premier sports line marking service, servicing Greater Geelong, the Bellarine, Surf Coast and the Golden Plains Shire. Why choose Aus Sports Line Marking to mark out your sporting pitch? Well, we offer the following: professional, accurate sporting pitch line marking to competition standards, reliable service and clear communication, high quality paint and commercial grade equipment. We have experience working with many clubs, schools and councils in the region, and we are a local Geelong-based service. Book now and prepare your sporting field professionally and cost effectively ahead of the coming 2026 winter season. For more information, contact Steve from Aus Sports Line Marking Geelong on 04 08 395 395 or email us at aussportslinemarking@gmail.com to focus on. Well, we're speaking with the president of the Bell Park Sports Club, Rose Piratina, a big supporter of our show over the last few years, and the club here up at Batesford is a fantastic sponsor and a supporter of the program, but also football in Geelong. Rose, let's talk about Bell Park. Let's talk about some of the, particularly, as we said, it's Female Football Week. What are some of the explain to us like the female side of things here at the Bell Park Sports Club?
So we've got a wonderful senior team that are very engaged, and I'm really proud of those girls. And I'm also, and I was going to do a big shout out to, some of those people that lead the female from Mini Roos right through, and I can do that later. But, it's important. We've got, some of the girls that will coach some of the younger girls.
Isn't that great? Isn't that fantastic?
It's amazing. Yep. And those girls do it voluntary.
Yeah.
They have got a wonderful social group. They come here. They have team dinners. They have come to club events. They are the biggest supporters of club events. They do the fundraising. They're reliable. If you need help, they're there to help you. They really set the tone.
Yeah. Now, that's something I hear a lot, that with particularly female football. And let's talk at senior football. We'll talk about junior a bit later on. But one of the big things there is, apart from the sport itself, the ball, kicking the goals, dribbling, all that, is the camaraderie on and off the field, and the social element. That's quite
Absolutely.
important. And
Yeah.
it's great to hear that, particularly here at Bell Park, you've got that real buzz, you've got that real social element to it as well. How important is it to maintain a really good, positive social environment to the success of your teams as well?
It's culture.
Culture, yeah.
And
Hear that
culture is,
often.
and and culture is the personality of our club.
Yeah.
It's simple as that. And these girls have created a wonderful friendship even outside this club, which they'll become long-term friends, and they will also be long-term memories. They've created some memories for those, from the laughs to the cries to the hard yakka on the field, giving me a hard time sometimes, as they do, and I love every minute of it. And having a joke with them as well.
Yep.
And that's probably one of my favourites, that we're able to ride the storms together, but we're also able to laugh when we have to. And I love seeing the girls in the club rooms, and I love seeing the girls what they do.
Yeah. Now, early in the year, we had the captain, Olivia Serapinko, on the show, and she spoke about how she'd worked her way up from playing juniors, and it followed that pathway. And a lot of clubs have that these days, but Bell Parks is very special. A lot of the players are homegrown, come from juniors, and now they can aspire. And I guess now, when those same players are putting back into the juniors, coaching the juniors, and gosh, we always hear about not enough coaches, particularly. So it's great to see the players putting it back in. But then they're cultivating a whole new generation of kids that are going to look up to the girls out there. Isn't that right?
And that's what they do. And they do take their roles in. They, like Olivia was a great example. She's from grassroots, so she's come right through.
Yeah.
And the extra work that she does, and the games she comes to see, whether it's male or female, but that's with the whole team. And it's just setting that example. And being a captain, she actually does lead by example. And I think that helps.
And who are some of the backroom staff? I guess the coaches, the team managers.
There is a few.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm going to make some notes, because you do deserve a plug. And I'd like to acknowledge their endless work. I think there's never enough thank yous for what goes on. And there's been, people that have been behind the scenes that have been here since they were kids. And that's a testimony in itself. So I'd like to start off with Mark Gasolta, Enzio Fiero, and Dean Graham. They lead the senior team. We've got Bridie King that does a lot of work behind the scenes. She goes from juniors to seniors to secretary to board of directors. She wears many hats. And you've got Jess Paddy as well, who always puts her hands up, and never. She's the work that lady does. I tell you, she's Jess. That's a special message to you, darling, because you've been here for a long time. Jack Ward, Matt Wall, Linda Pedovic, and Julie Santoro, and also to all our coaches out there, to team managers, committee members, parents, sponsors, board members, volunteers that play a massive role, and our life members. So that's what makes our football.
Yeah, fantastic. What about the juniors? How are the juniors looking this year, as far as overall juniors here at Bell Park, but also female juniors as well?
Yeah, look, our numbers are amazing. The junior committee there are doing a wonderful job. It's endless. And the work that they've just put in to get the season off and running is been amazing. And I think that the junior committee have done a wonderful job making sure that things are running smoothly. And the growth of numbers, it's at its peak.
Yep.
We've never had this many female participants.
Wow.
So I think we've hit history there.
Well, we had Michael McKinstry on the show a few weeks back, and he was saying that it's still early days, obviously, but it looks like it's going to be record numbers. And that's testament to to the region and to clubs like yourselves as well. But I mean, I just can't get over the facilities up here. And folks, if you've never been up to Bell Park Sports Club, games for the men are on a Saturday evening at 6 p.m. So when most of the other games are finished around town, but it's certainly worth coming out here. And I mean, on the weekend there was a debutante ball as well, which I think
Friday night.
Geelong Advertiser have got photo shoots of it as well.
Yep.
So it's a real wider community club. Like, there's some great facilities here, but from the football perspective, new change rooms, floodlights, great seating facilities, undercover for parents and supporters. That also must be a real drawing card for a lot of the juniors here as well, and female footballers. They must really love being at Bell Park Sports Club.
They do, and they're so gorgeous to watch. They're one of my favourites, to be quite honest, from Mini Rouge right through. They love wearing the uniform. They're passionate about wearing that uniform, and they get excited. And I don't know if you saw our clip on Facebook when
Go to the Bell Park Sports Club Facebook page.
Yeah, where they ran out and they gave some flowers to their mums, and I thought that was gorgeous. So, yeah, I think we are true a community club. We try to be one of the best in the region as a community club, and I think that's because those little girls feel welcome, and that's obviously helps from, like I said, from the senior team where they make the little ones feel welcome.
Yeah, yeah, and look, and it has to start from the top. I think, testament to yourself and to other people around here. Whenever you come to the club, you guys are always really, really welcoming in every sense of the word. So it starts from the top. Now, I guess we talked about the social element that's so important, but what do the junior teams do? They get together and do any like pizza nights, or do you have evenings here where after training they hang back and have a bit of a laugh and joke and
Thursday nights?
What else do they do? What else do you guys do?
Well, the thing is, we have thank you to the Biznella Developments. We have a Kids Eat Free night. And that's proudly sponsored by the Biznella Group Developments. So with that, we always families come in. This is where they use their little, their social. They come and the parents wait in here while the children are out there, and then they come back in here. Like this week, celebrating, the Women's Football Week. We've got Thursday night we're celebrating, and we're also celebrating Saturday for the little ones as well.
Fantastic. Yeah, awesome. And
so if you're free, come up.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we talk about, the culture and everything like that. We could talk for hours and hours, and it is really good to see like the club doing so well on and off the park as well. State of football in Geelong. So we talked about female football, but just generally speaking, are you excited about the future for our sport, our wonderful sport in Geelong, or what do you see some of the limitations stopping the further growth? I mean, we talked about fields, and that's a big one. But apart from that, what else do you see positive and negative at the moment with regards to the state of play with regards to football?
I think it's the play availability, really. The players we need to, at that senior level is, the choice of players that want to still play, because what happens while you're going through teenage years, the social element gets and you sort of drop off, right? Then when you get to, you're becoming, a young adult, then the going out, work, and all of that starts.
Makes it hard.
So it's that, like I talk about sustainability, is that retention. So that way, because there is more clubs now. There's a lot more clubs to choose from now, which is great. But we've got to keep up with that growth.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think at the moment, sometimes, I think that we could probably develop those players, have more development. I think we have a potential problem in the 17 age group.
Yeah, VCE, isn't it? That's a big. Yep, I've got nephews going through that at the moment. It's very tough. Yeah.
So I find that's probably one of our biggest problems, because they are our resis, and then from our reserves they go into our seniors. So that area I'm struggling with.
How are the coaches? Like, what do you think? Are the coaches kind of understanding of things like that, outside life pressures, outside work pressures, and that sort of stuff? Or do they kind of, sometimes coaches can get really stuck in their ways and, they just see the result and things like that. But I'm just generally speaking, how do you think the coaches are, particularly when they deal with kids, 17, 18-year-olds who are dealing with VCE or work-life pressures or home life pressures, that sort of stuff? Are they generally, do we do enough coach education? Do we do enough in coach education to maybe, I don't know, prepare some of these coaches for those non-football related issues that they have to deal with?
You know what, Tonchi? It's a really difficult question.
That is, yeah. It came into my head now.
No, and I'll tell you why. Because with the coaches, you've got they do their best.
Yeah.
And we can't forget that they're volunteers.
That's a good point. Yeah, we forget that sometimes.
We forget that. But then they want to push for, whether it's, to get them ready to play senior football one day. So, they have to try to find that balance as well. So it's difficult for them. But sometimes it depends what club it is, because if you're playing NPL or, it depends what club it is. And it also depends on the person. It's a really hard question to answer, because it's not a one fits all.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good topic, and maybe we'll leave that for another day. The lights have gone out, so maybe that's a sign we have to wind up the interview. Rose, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you as part of Female Football Week. And once again, thank you so much for joining us on the show. And thank you for all of your ongoing support over the last 4 or 5 years, I'd say.
Thank you, Tonchi, and thank you to our listeners.
Good on you. We're going to take a very, very short break and be back with the rest of tonight's episode of the Geelong Region Soccer Show. Affordable plus quality equals Geelong Access Hire. At Geelong Access Hire, we have an extensive range of machines available. Our experienced team is ready to guide you through the selection process. Whether you need a boom lift for high-reach tasks, a scissor lift for narrow spaces, or a forklift for heavy lifting, we will assess your project requirements and recommend the most suitable machine. Our personalised service ensures you get the right equipment for maximum efficiency and safety on the job site. And with our commitment to competitive pricing, it means that you will always get top quality machines without breaking the bank. From short-term rentals for immediate tasks to long-term solutions for ongoing projects, we've got you covered. For a free quote or for more information, contact us on 03 4241 2463 or visit our website at geelongaccesshire.com.au. Geelong Access Hire is proudly locally owned and operated and a huge supporter of the local football community here in Geelong. And that brings us to the end of yet another episode of the Geelong Region Soccer Show podcast, our 10th for the season. Like I said at the top of the show, we're hoping to get to 25 this year. If that's the case, another 15 episodes left, assuming we can get the funding. We'll be back next Monday night, and until then, have a great week, and hopefully see you somewhere on the football terraces over the weekend. Good night. Bye-bye.